And we are back with the Vac. Nate's in Egypt, and you're back.
I'm back.
And I wanted to ask, like, what? I just called you the new guest last time.
Yep.
What are you? Who are you? What's your name? A name would be all right. You can do a name.
Yeah. You can call me Tunge.
Tunge. Okay, I can do that.
Like tongue with a J.
Yeah. That just rolls off the Tunge.
Yeah.
You've been on before. We talked all things. But a bit of UFC chatter. It's a bit of that.
Bit of UFC, bit of slapping, bit of
the slapping. I'm big on the slapping again.
Bit of the wood. I call it the wood. Other people call it Bollywood. I call it the wood. Some people call it Bollywood. I call it the wood. To me, there's only one wood. The wood. That was natural, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A technical glitch, but my
resume.
I've been it's like that scene in The Matrix, with Neo, where
with his mouth closed.
But I was talking normally instead of.
Yeah. Great movie.
You know what I thought about that movie recently? Because, as you know, the directors have since come out as trans. They're the Wachowski siblings now. I think.
Correct.
Is it the case that they're both trans, or is it just?
Yeah.
I think there's both trans.
I think Lana was first, and then I can't remember the other Wachowski's name.
She really paved the way for other Wachowskis to come out as trans.
Oh, good on her.
But one thing that I did think about that movie was, and that on the first 100 viewings I didn't really notice was, and maybe only with the benefit of the trans hindsight, can you say that Neo and Trinity are like trans? Like they're like trans copies of each other.
Yeah,
like they look
the male
exactly
and female
the
version
same.
of each other. Yeah. I see that. And Switch,
and I
of
heard
course.
in early Switch, early versions of the script, Switch was meant to be male
outside of the Matrix,
or vice versa,
Not sure which one. Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
So
Great.
Yeah. Glad to be back. I wish Nate was here.
Yeah. No, that'd be cool. We should do that.
Oh no, I don't mean with us. I just mean for the benefit of the I just mean I look forward to the episodes in which Nate is featured, which is thankfully almost all of them.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, no, happy to be here.
It's great to be here. Yep. I actually found a new appreciation for The Matrix 2 and 3 because I had that weird theory about the Oracle. You seen that one?
The Oracle is a program.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Facilitates
just to give
the rebirths.
Yeah, wow. The Oracle in the original, she just gave out cookies and good wisdom and stuff, and usually just told people what they needed to hear. It's not. She lied to Neo. She said, "You're not the one, kid. Sorry."
She told him what he needed to hear.
So he goes, "I'm not the one." Finds out he is the one, but he wouldn't have been the one if she said, "You're the one."
He would still be the one even if she said he wasn't the one, but he wouldn't have tried to rescue Morpheus if he thought he was the one. The reason why he went after Morpheus was because he went, "I've got nothing to lose. I'm not the one. I got to save Morpheus."
He believed Morpheus was sacrificing himself because he was certain that Neo was the one.
But Neo knew that he was mistaken.
Yeah, he's got this new info. He's not the one. And now his mate's going to die on this suicide mission. No, it's a no-brainer to also go on a suicide mission, given that you're not the one.
Yeah.
But if you were the one, isn't that, get in there? I don't know what the deal is. Isn't the one just really good at everything?
He was yet to begin to believe.
He's beginning to believe.
Yeah.
No, so I found a new appreciation for The Matrix 2 and 3 because in number... I don't even know which one it was. It's got to be 3. Wow, it could have been in 2. Agent Smith goes around copying himself into every living thing in the Matrix. He just goes around on a big old hand through the chest fest.
Yes.
And starts copying his program onto all the other programs. Taking over people, other agents.
Yep.
And Sean William Scott and Justin Timberlake. So he got all of them.
Yes.
And he also gets the Oracle. He goes into a house and she's baking cookies as usual. Probably played by a different actor at this point. And
this is the third one, yeah.
It could be. And he goes in and goes, were you expecting me? And were you expecting this? And does the chest fest. Pumpies. He gives her the pumpies.
Yeah.
And she turns into an Agent Smith. Now you've got a whole bunch of Agent Smiths walking around, but you've also got this, what I'm calling the Agent Smith infused Oracle program. It's its own bag. And the reason
so you're saying that the Oracle code is still live somehow within the Agent Smith copy of her.
Yeah, so much so.
Isn't he the one that is fighting, though?
Who?
The Oracle coded copy is the fighting one.
Yes, that's my big point. Is that from that point on in the movie, I don't think we're seeing the OG Agent Smith anymore. I think we're seeing Oracle Smith. From that point on, it's Oracle Smith who you're seeing.
Isn't OG Smith in the real world? Inhabiting that guy?
No, he's sort of in the real world. Yeah. He's in that dude's consciousness somehow. Yeah.
I thought that was the OG, though. That's what I'm saying. It's like the OG's gone to the real world, and then only the copies remain, and then Oracle copy is the
now new leader.
Yeah.
The new leader. And she brings down the whole bag when Neo punches. I don't know. They have a big fight. It's like the epic. It's sort of like Obi-Wan versus Anakin, but
it's
Agent
only
Smith
after Agent Smith copies Neo while Neo is plugged into the machine.
Or Oracle Smith, if you're going by my...
So Oracle Smith copies Neo while he's plugged into the mainframe.
The big boy. the big golden boy.
And then from there, they're able to, control it, delete Smith.
Well, and then the reason that it gives it away, I think there's like a brief few frames where in the hole, it's not Agent Smith's body, it's the Oracle's body.
Mm.
And I don't know if I dreamt it, but I've definitely brought it up before. And it made me appreciate those movies more than I used to. Let's put it that way.
Everything that has a beginning has an end or something. He says that thing.
Who says that?
Smith is trying to recollect himself. He's saying, I've seen this. You were standing right here. And then I say, everything comes to an end or some shit,
Wow. Yeah, that is powerful shit. Is that Oracle? That's Oracle Smith oracling it up, isn't he?
That's Oracle code. Speaking of movies, I thought we would have a quick chat about a little movie that you put me onto called The Ninth Gate.
Yep, directed by Roman Polanski, released in, I think, 1999.
Yes, I've also,
And it somehow completely went under my radar for 23 years because, I mean, sure, when I was 13, I probably wasn't going to switch this on, right? But in my sort of mid-20s and later, so that's at least the last, 15 years or so, I would have been into this like kind of movie. This is a cool movie, right?
Yeah. It is a cool movie, and... Yeah. I watched it. I put it on, like I do with almost all my viewing experiences. I put it on in the background. But I saw the first scene. Like I actually watched the first scene, and I thought that's a really good scene. It was the first thought that came to my mind, and then each other scene following that, I thought that was also
quite
good
scene as well. Yep.
Until I stopped thinking it, and I was just watching it.
Great.
So there was like 2 or 3 scenes in a row where I was like, "Bam, these are nice scenes." The first scene is a man very matter-of-factly killing himself by hanging.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really brilliantly shot. Because he just sort of like goes, "Yep, I'm just going to put my head in here and flip, put it on."
The sort of movie goes into who he is and why that happened and stuff.
Mm.
Sure. But it's not about that at all. Shouldn't we?
Yeah, but a brief synopsis would be that Johnny Depp plays a book detective.
Book hunter, yep.
It's sort of reminiscent of the neo-noir detective, always sort of smoking in various locations.
Mostly indoors.
Especially over priceless artifacts, which
this is a bit jarring, isn't it?
Well, like
you're a purveyor of ancient books and you're smoking on the books,
and not even like carefully. Like it's always like hanging out of his mouth and he's puffing on it. And I'm like, that's surely going to ash like direct onto a book.
Wouldn't be surprised if he ashed on it. Just went, oh shit, oh fuck, I shouldn't have
just
done
sort of brushed it away. Go, oh shit, that was close.
And I'm sure he's had a couple of ancient pages that have a cigarette burn in them. But you'd think him of all people would recognize the delicacy of exactly. So there's only one person who pulls him up on it, goes, no, you're not smoking in here. But he's on the hunt for a book for a dude, and that's kind of, and it's
Skeletor. Skeletor rings him up.
Vibes. Yeah, sure. Skeletor rings you up. Frank Langella. Yeah.
Who is really, really good in the movie. I mean,
great.
Frank Langella's I really like him as an actor.
Yeah.
I've only seen a few of his films, but each of them I've gone, wow, he's done really well there.
What, Skeletor?
Yes, Frank Langella in...
he's definitely the best part of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Like, he's the best character.
Oh, and he looks like he's having an absolute whale of a time. He looks like he's having a blast.
I think he was. I think his kids or whatever were big fans, and they wanted him to do it.
So Frank Langella hires Johnny Depp to track down a book which, if you get the original and you solve the riddle that are in the engravings, in the little pictures in the book, then you are able to supposedly summon the devil himself.
Right, in the flesh.
And then off starts, off starts the European adventure because Roman can't film in. Roman can't film in the US.
Yep.
And every shot in the US in the movie is
faked. Yeah, it's in France or something.
Well, maybe France, maybe Canada. I don't know. Probably not Canada because they've probably got an extradition deal. But
well, the film does travel around Europe a bit. It just so happens that the main book collector, he's in New York, and everyone else is just very, very tightly packed around Europe. Yeah.
So, like, this a little slightly off topic, but on the sort of, for want of a better term, the Diddler scale.
Sure.
Where does the conduct of Roman Polanski sort of rate?
Well, do you have a rundown of it? I don't really know why is he can't go back to the US because he'll get arrested, right?
He'll get arrested.
For what?
I think the official charges are something like statutory rape.
Okay. Pretty bad.
Yeah. Yes. So, but I think from all accounts and you can't really use this word in statutory rape cases because the word consent doesn't really mean anything if one of the parties is
not unable
to give consent.
Correct.
Okay, so there's a sexual assault charge in 1977.
So that's pending.
Of a 13-year-old.
Okay, so that's pending, is it?
Yep.
Does it surprise you that he can still make Hollywood blockbusters?
And
just ship him even to the United States and them go, yeah, that's a really good movie?
What's the deal Hollywood there? Because I'm pretty sure all the distribution deals were probably like through like studios that aren't but are sort of Hollywood but aren't really Hollywood.
He's done a lot of huge movies. He's done a lot of really big movies.
He's
still making movies.
Of course he's still making movies, but so is Woody Allen. Well, actually, I don't think Woody Allen has made a movie in about 5 years or maybe longer.
Okay.
Plea bargain, 5 of the 6 charges dismissed. Plea bargain meant that he pled guilty to unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor. Psychiatric evaluation and released from prison. Okay. I feel like there's another one. This has all got to do with the 13-year-old. I feel like there was another one.
Sure.
It seems to be just that one.
Okay, there you go. But he's still going to the Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah, they're French, you know. The French are a bit more...
What's the deal with that?
Well, they're like... the French are not... I mean, a bit forgiving and a bit more...
forgiving. Oh.
And a bit more like sort of free love.
Ugh.
You know...
No.
It's... but, you know... Hang on a minute. He gave an interview, right? And this might give you a bit of an insight into the crime. He gave an interview in 1979, which was a few years after pleading guilty to the unlawful intercourse. He said, if I had killed somebody, rather, it wouldn't have had so much appeal. But fucking, you see, and the young girls, judges want to fuck young girls. Juries want to fuck young girls.
Oh,
everyone wants to fuck young girls.
Wow, he's really generalized here. Wow. Everyone. And Jesus.
I think I know what he means. Not saying that I want to fuck young girls, but I'm saying that like youth and beauty are objects of attraction. And obviously 13 is a different, 13 is obviously not okay and obviously illegal for good reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I think I know what he means.
Yeah, but if you can't apply that to what he was arrested for.
Everyone wants to. Everyone.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, something probably happened to him, and yeah. But he actually married the girl in The Ninth Gate.
Yes.
In 1989. So 10 years prior to the movie, he actually married the lead lady.
Before the movie?
Yeah, 10 years before. 89.
Because if I was directing that movie, I would have married that girl almost immediately.
This is the thing. She
comes off amazing.
She played a role in a 1988 movie called Frantic, which was directed by Roman Polanski, and they were married the next year.
I wonder how old she was in 1988.
Great question. Let's throw it to the board. She was born in 1966, so 88 she was 22.
Just doing some, that seems okay to me. Even if he was probably 40 or so at the time.
So that's just 23 at the time they were wed. Does that maths add up?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Am I doing that
right? Yeah.
And then 10 years later, she plays the lead in The Ninth Gate, which is what we were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, The Ninth Gate. And it got me thinking about other... I mean, look, just to sort of... just to get on The Ninth Gate a bit more, it's... to me, I think it's a pretty rich text. I feel like there's lots of room for interpretation.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're fun movies because...
Is it okay to like his movies? This is another one of those things, those questions without an answer.
Struggled with that myself.
Leonardo da Vinci had sex with someone who was like he was essentially the guardian of that. So the stories say.
Right.
So does that make the Mona Lisa a shit painting? I would probably say no.
Probably still is a good painting from now on.
Yeah.
Given that. Fuck the Mona Lisa. Yeah, bin it. Fucking torch the thing. Spray it with red paint. Don't do that. Yeah, don't. Oh, well,
Nah,
do it.
Yeah, why not?
The
movie itself gives me a lot of Look, the fact is that I watched the movie and I already liked it, so I can't really take that back, can I? Like, if I'd watched that movie not knowing it was made by him,
right?
I already liked
it, right?
And I liked his other movie about on similar themes, Rosemary's Baby.
I just need a definitive answer on whether or not it's okay to like the movie. Like, I need to know what the critics thought. They're like, look, it was a good movie, but he's a scumbag, so I hated it.
Look, a friend of the show, and also a former guest, told me that he had to throw out his Michael Jackson records.
Wow, yeah, that would have been tough.
After
Finding Neverland, or
Leaving Neverland. I think Finding Neverland was that movie with Johnny Depp, another Johnny Depp movie where
Great
he plays.
Movie. Okay, so yeah, he had to do that. Yeah, I mean, I've still got my Thriller album. It's still there. And I think Stephen Merchant made the best point about it, is because he thought that the quality of the music played a role in it being more acceptable, because people wanted to still play Billie Jean at weddings, which is what he said. What do you think about that? What do you think about MJ? Can you listen to MJ music?
I really admire MJ, not as a musician, more as a I like his songs.
Musician and dancer.
I like the songs, and there are some songs of his that are really in there for me. But I think
overall,
more as not a composer, but like the composition of his songs, I think is really good.
But you're just talking about Roman Polanski again. You're just going, look, it was a good movie. What am I going to say? The shots were good. The acting was good.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm hamstrung, really. Because if I didn't, if you Alan Smithied the movie and took his name off it and said it, I would still, maybe I wouldn't have been able to find it on Netflix, right? Because it would have been made by an unknown director. But I
think your point is that you wouldn't have. Roman Polanski, great bloke. Let's have a look at the movie then. Oh, pretty good. It's you're not going into it going, this maybe guy's a scumbag.
I think I've got a solution.
Okay, let's go.
So let's say you're on YouTube, right? And you want to look up your favorite Gary Glitter song, or you want to watch, what's it called? Jimmy Savile's greatest hits, right? You want to watch your Jimmy Savile compilation videos, right?
Right. Who wants to watch those?
It's as an example.
Okay.
So on that video is a little tag, like a little button that you can press,
right,
which says no ad revenue.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
No.
Sure.
As in, the viewer can decide to assign their ad revenue or not. Like, if not, then it just goes straight to YouTube or straight to whatever. It doesn't go to the creator.
How is this a solution?
Well, what I'm saying is that I still want to be able to listen to the songs, and I still want to be able to watch The Ninth Gate again.
Right. You don't want.
But I don't want Netflix. I don't want Netflix to pay Roman Polanski royalties on account of the diddling. So maybe it's a way that I can like the art becomes free, like sort of licensed, whatever that, what is that word? Something domain, public domain. And therefore, like, any royalties is just sort
public
of voided.
Public domain because there's allegations that he's avoiding? I don't understand.
It's public domain because we don't want to pay him anymore. Like, society says, can't give this person money, so
right,
that's it.
All right, we solved it. That's good. That's good. I'm glad that we got that one. Hey, Nate's in Egypt.
Yes,
he sent me some pictures.
I did. I had seen some of the other ones.
Okay, here we go
on the book.
Oh yeah,
some people call it the book. Some people call it Facebook. Some people call it Meta. I call it the book. But
yeah, we can call it the book. So we're going to have a look at a couple of them here.
Where are we here? Is there any captions, or is it just? No,
we're just in some sort of like lovely old temple. Right, it looks pretty old to me. It's probably a few thousand years old. It's fantastic. Got a close-up of the goat man, or a goat man. Who's he? You know who that guy is?
The goat man.
I have no idea.
A goat-headed god of Egypt.
Looks like it. And he's holding an ankh. Yeah.
He kind of I think he's a stand-up comedian because that kind of looks like a mic stand.
Oh, it's a mic stand.
Is that a big snake?
Yeah, it's a big snake. What, coming up the top there?
Yeah.
He's got a sun disk on his head, and there looks like there's a sun disk in the background as well, which could be the real sun. Not sure.
I think the snake is licking the sun.
Oh, yeah. Popping it up. And, he's just howling at the good jokes.
Yeah, the snake's his number one fan. That really does look like a mic stand. I mean, it's probably a spear of some description or some
looks
sort
like
of
some
staff.
sort of staff. Yeah, maybe some sort of magical property staff. Actually, there's a massive snake going around the whole painting. So yeah, there's a lot of snake iconography here. Great. I'm sure
they're on a boat. They're on a boat.
Oh, it's a boat.
He's a boat comic. He's a cruise ship comic.
He's a cruise ship comic. That
those are the worst ones as well. I've heard those are the ones that are really
slamming
it. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. This is an interesting one. What's going on here? Hang on a sec.
He's got a big woody.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that does look like a good rope of jizz coming out of his woody.
It does, but it also looks kind of like there. I get it. He's offering up some cups of tea on the left. Here's your cups of tea.
I think it's tambourine.
Getting really excited about tea.
It kind of looks like a drum. Like a snare drum or a tambourine.
Thanks for that one, Nate. That's a ripper. Cool. This is the gate that Nate brought up last week. It's with the step pyramid in the background. Fantastic. And some more hieroglyphs. Oh boy. What is that? A wall? Oh my god. It's a lot of work. Yeah, it's great stuff. He's having a hell of a time, and he's going to come back more confused than ever, I'm sure. And there he is up close and personal with the statue of what modern archaeologists think is the inspiration for the Sphinx's face.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, but they're wrong. But yes.
It looks like he was flipping a coin.
Heads or tails?
Yeah, it does look like he is in coin flip position.
Yeah, and he's guided by Horus probably. Back of the head treatment. It's a great picture. Well done. Oh, he's going to have to go into more detail, and this is probably the Valley Temple. Fantastic.
And that's
Loving
the great one, is it?
No.
In the middle.
No, that's not the great one.
It looks pretty great. I thought that is the great one.
No, it isn't. No, common misconception. The great one's on the left there. It's the middle one's elevated. It makes it look bigger.
The one on the left is also further away. And
it's further away.
It looks smaller.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the one that's got the most well-preserved outer casing. Up the top, you can still see the outer casing. There you go. That's a good picture of it there.
So we're still not looking at the great one here.
That's not the great one. That's not the great one. That's the second best one. That's the great one. Now,
it seems to me that the second best one
is better.
Still looks pretty good.
It does look pretty good, but there's no one knows anything about it.
Well, I don't know how that could possibly be true.
What I'm saying is that when people talk about the pyramids, they mostly talk about the Great Pyramid. And when they talk about the Great Pyramid, we know about the King's Chamber, the Queen's Chamber, the descending and ascending shafts, and the underground area that was mined out of the bedrock. But I can't tell you anything about the second biggest one, which is right there next to it. Has that got a King's Chamber? Has that got a Queen's Chamber? Has that got big granite blocks flying above the King's Chamber, like hundreds of tons? I don't know. I don't know. But it could. But yeah, just wanted to share some of that because it looks like he's having a great time. Really enjoying it.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I think about traveling and some things, I don't know what it is, but I've kind of lost the spark a bit for traveling. Kind of just like that thing, that get up and go about it. Like, I know when I do travel again, I'm going to have a good time and I'm going to do X, Y, Z and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it's easy to have a good time on holiday because you're on holiday. So I'm going to be in good spirits. But
right.
Whatever it was,
the main thing. Yeah, for sure.
Whatever it was that propelled me to travel in my younger, about a decade ago, I don't know. I feel like it's just a bit diminished.
Okay.
Because the commodification of travel is something I struggle with a lot. Like, I always feel like as soon as I get off a plane in an area, in a tourist area or whatever, the exception is that if you're with people that you know or with people who are locals, then you can sort of escape this trap. But the trap, I feel, is like this. It's kind of like a travelator. You step off the plane and you get put on a travelator where there's this sort of invisible force of capitalism, or just, the tourist economy rather, that's just sort of pushing you in a direction, and you feel like you're not really choosing to go anywhere or not really choosing to do anything. Rather, you're just being guided by this invisible hand. Oh yeah, go to this restaurant. It's close to the thing that you're looking at, and you have to sort of resist it and push a bit further and turn a corner, and you might go to a place that's no good, but at least you'll escape a place that you and thousands of other people like you have been.
Sure. It'd be pretty weird if you went to, we just came back from Egypt. Oh, how was it? Oh, it was great. Did you go to the pyramids? Nah, we didn't go to that one. Oh, what did you? Oh, we just sort of went around. Like, everyone who's going to Egypt is there for the tourist trap, in the sense that, like, they know that they're going to be going to, like, the pyramids is packed, right? Like, it'd be totally always busy. It'd be always busy and stuff.
Totally agree. And of the touristy things that I've done, like in the pyramid sort of category, I would say almost all of them were worth doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
even though they were
guided by this invisible hand.
Exactly.
But there was a certain way of doing them, right?
Sure.
For example, there's an island off the coast of the south of Italy. It's kind of like their Rottnest.
Yeah.
It's like a big sort of like mountain in the sea. You can you get off the ferry or whatever, and there's a cable car that takes you to the top. But you can sort of climb it if you want. You can take the sort of
scenic route. Yeah.
You can walk up it, and if you walk up it, then it's usually hot there. You're gonna work up a sweat, and then you get to the very top, and they're gonna charge you out the wazoo for a lemon granita. But it's the best tasting lemon granita.
What do you mean charge you silly lemon granita money? What is that?
Well, they've got you by the short and curlies.
Yeah. Would you like a refreshing drink?
It's a hot day. Would you like a refreshing drink? You've been climbing up a mountain, probably.
Yeah, of course.
And then boom, €5, please. And you go, my God, it's just lemon, ice, and water, as far as I can tell. But totally delicious, and I would say definitely get that
when you go up there.
Yeah, and same with the things like the David is the Michelangelo's David.
Yeah.
There's a free one in the sort of town square.
A free one?
Yeah, there's a free David.
Free David?
Free David.
What does that mean?
Well, it's just there. It's in the town square. It's in a public square. But it's not the real one. It's a replica.
It's a replica?
Yeah. The real one is in its own sort of museum, and it's got this sort of long hallway, and there's this nice like beam of light that comes down on it, and it is, to this day, like the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to say...
And you had to be invisible-handed to get there.
Yes. And I want to say, like, it's as close to a spiritual experience that I can get without any mention of religion. I mean, obviously the fact that he's a religious character is, I mean, that's, you know.
What about it?
What about it was so magical?
Yeah, I mean, it's he's not to proportion, right? He's big. It's big.
He's huge.
Yeah, he's huge. But we built huge things. We build huge things. What about it made you go, that's cool?
It's at the end of this long hallway, right? So you sort of, it's a slow burn as you sort of approach it. And then you stand at the foot of it and you're just struck by it. And it's just the fact that it's a single piece of marble.
Yeah. Why is that? Was that hard to work with?
Look, I don't have enough information to say one way or another. I know that it is a marvel simply because of its effect. Like even if it was a 3D model but identical, I'd be like, that's the best 3D model I've ever seen.
Right.
Like a 3D printed model. But
I've got a picture here from 1873. The David in front of the Palazzo della Signora before 1873 with a leaf covering his genitals.
Right.
They covered up the dong in 1873. They didn't like it.
That could be the public one or it could be the... Because I do think the original was in public for some time.
Right. It could be the public one, but it looks very big. I mean, is it the same size and everything?
It is the same size.
It's the exact same.
But the effect of it is different in the different environment.
Yeah, okay, cool.
It's not just the proportions of it. It's not just the view of it. It's just like, have you ever sort of, if you ever like sort of played a riff on a guitar that you didn't, it just sort of happened? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
You're not really writing it, but you're just sort of fiddling around and then something happens, right?
Sure.
And it doesn't feel so much as you creating something, but more so you discovering something. Like it just sort of was already there and you just sort of happened to bump into it.
Right. And you bumped into Michelangelo's David?
No. There was a David inside a giant cube or rectangular prism of marble, like a giant stone of untouched marble. And if you removed all the excess...
You had Michelangelo's David.
He's right there. He was already inside of it.
Right.
And it was just about someone who had the vision, someone who had the skill, and then the combination of those two things to just sort of brush away all this unnecessary, unwanted material. Like there's like a clay sculpture is like additive sculpture, right? Where you're putting clay on, and this is reductive, yeah. And so, yeah, it was just, just unreal. Like,
yeah, that is cool. Did you know, I mean, you would have known this, but during World War II, David, along with other sculptures, were packed in sand and actually entombed in brick to protect them from bombing attacks and whatnot. So they popped them in sandbags around them and then built little brick houses for them. That was nice of them. In 1991, the left foot of the statue was damaged by a man with a hammer who broke off the tip of the second toe.
Mm.
And you can see a close-up of that. And he had to go. He was clipping his nails. He was clipping them.
Yeah, he clipped them.
Oh, it's not okay, but he clipped them.
You have to wonder, like, it's a sort of category of videos that have been sneaking into my YouTube Shorts algorithm has been like true crime videos.
Yeah, sure. It always comes up every now and then. You get the interrogation,
like snippets
videos,
of police interviews,
sure.
and then like in more extreme cases, it's like body cam footage of a guy, and he's like, "There's a body in the trunk," and he's like, "Who's in the trunk?" And then the guy breaks down crying. He's like, "Mike, what happened to Mike? I hit Mike, and now Mike's in my trunk," and then they take him away.
Yep.
But those moments, those sort of criminal, like where these people have like these moments of criminal insanity where they just lose it for a second. And I mean, he brought a hammer, right? So there's he wasn't just like working at a work site nearby and then decided to whack the foot of David.
Yeah.
He brought a hammer to the spot and went, "I'm fucking whacking this guy. Like, I've had enough."
Yeah, he's upset about something. Or he just thought his toes could have used clippies. But
Do you think that's the devil?
what do you mean?
That sort of impulse. You know, everyone gets impulses. Today I was in class and someone...
It's not an impulse because he went up and clipped it with a hammer that he brought.
The first impulse was to think of to do that, you know,
Yeah, sure.
and then he sort of
the hammer and
he
go.
sort of cultivated that impulse, and then sort of it festered inside of him, and he said, "I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it." He's psyching himself up.
Oh boy!
Because we all get impulses, right? I used to get lots of impulses.
Yep.
Like I would cross a certain bridge to go to my old job, and there would be people on their phones, and I would get this impulse to like snatch their phone and just ditch it over the
bridge,
over the river, into the river. Obviously never did that. Today I had an impulse to like put my fingers in someone's water glass. Like,
why? Just to do it?
Because the lecturer said, "Oh, that's a clean water glass for the guest speaker. That's a clean water glass like that." And I was just thinking, I would really like to just walk up to it and look everyone in the eye and just sort of like
dimension version of you who's done all this crazy stuff, or is probably just in jail, already.
But is that the devil? Is my question. Like that impulse.
You can assign blame wherever you want. I think it's the individual, and if you're saying is it the devil, it's probably not. It's probably just you.
I'm not saying the devil is is possessing me, and
but I can have good
I'm
impulses.
resisting.
Like I'll decide. I don't know. No, actually, I don't know if I do have a good impulse. Yeah, go on.
I just mean like that thing, right? Obviously, let's say.
Yeah, but it sounds like you're blame shifting. Sounds like you're blame shifting. You're going, no, it's not my fault. It's the impulses. It's the devil.
Let's say from the outset, devil is only in the hearts of men, right? That's the only place it exists. It doesn't exist outside of that. It's just in there. And heaven is a place on earth, right? So in order to bring the kingdom of heaven into the material plane, everyone has to be good to each other and all that stuff.
Sounds pretty good, yeah. No, it sounds good.
So devil's in the hearts of men. It's not a way of assigning blame. What it is
sounds like it.
It's like Johnny Depp in that movie, Night at the Gate. He was lustful, right? A lady just starts making out with him and he's just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go with this. Like, I'm not going to think about the responsibility of my actions. I'm just going to like fulfill my earthly desires, no matter what the consequences. I'm going to rip people off. I'm going to, step on people to get ahead. I'm going to willfully ignore crimes and like not report.
Yeah, sure.
It's not that he's a bad guy. Wow. It's that he just has no regard for his own sort of morality. He just lives sort of separate of this thing. He just goes, I'm not involved.
Well, he makes the distinction pretty early on that if he was to be ethical, he wouldn't make it in the biz. He's saying this is a business of charlatans, essentially. And
he's saying like the commercial reality.
I'd be out of business. Yeah, commercial reality. Dictates that I act in a certain way and that's it.
Well, the commercial reality didn't make him bang Maharet, No,
he was just having a good time.
And, obviously she was into it.
Yeah, she was just into it. And he thought she was just into it. But she wasn't into it. Yeah. But
she wasn't into it.
We're spoiling a lot of silly things here that don't really. But I understand what you're saying. But I still think it's blame shifting. It's just like, that's not a defense. You can't go into a courtroom and be like, it was the devil. So
no, I would never suggest that you could. But what I am suggesting is that goodness only comes from resisting the devil. Meaning, like, if someone is without evil impulses or, let's say, immoral impulses, then they are incapable of doing good. They are... You need to like if Jesus is a perfect man, Jesus.
I don't know if he was.
He was a man. He had earthly desires. He was tempted.
Yeah. Wow.
He was a physical being, a man being.
Right.
And if he was sort of incapable of harm, then he ceases to be good
because that's not true. You can just be good, can't you?
I don't think so. I think then that shifts what good is. I think if you take bad out of a paradigm, then it's hard to see what good is.
Well, what about instead of saying do good, what about do no evil?
Do no evil. So if you watch something evil happening, then you're good.
What?
Because you're not doing it.
What? No.
So you have to sort of intervene in evil if you can.
Got to be on the positive side of just on the other side of evil, where you switch to good, and from there you're good onwards. You can increase goodness, but you're trying to say that unless you know about the evil, you can't possibly be good. But I disagree with that. But that's all right.
I guess it's like if you're an observer of someone and you're incapable of looking inside them, you could make some sort of objective judgment that person is good on account of their behavior. You go, okay, I'm looking at this person from a bird's eye view. He doesn't do anything wrong, and he appears to be kind to people. Therefore, he's good. Sure. But if let's say he was an automaton who had he was a robot and he had actually no free will, and he was just sort of like programmed to do certain things, you would still from the outside say he's good, but
he is.
But from his perspective, he's actually not good. He's just he's just default. Like he's got no choice to. If you don't have a choice to be bad, then you don't have the capacity to be good from the interior perspective. I feel like this is making a lot of sense.
Talking about the notion of free will, but I don't.
It's all sort of rolled into one. Who's your favorite cinematic devil?
Cinematic devils.
Al Pacino. Let me read off a couple. Al Pacino. In Devil's Advocate.
Have you got some? Gabriel Byrne in.
Gabriel Byrne is a big one.
What was that one called? End of Days.
End of Days.
Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger takes on his biggest foe yet. The devil.
I don't know if the kid in The Omen was the devil, but he's sort of devilish.
He gets more son of the devil stuff like Rosemary's Baby stuff.
There was a devil in Bill and Ted Bogus Journey, a big sort of
big
metal devil
thing. Yeah. I don't think you can class him as your favorite. No.
I've got a Google.
There was probably someone in the TV show Passions who was the devil potentially, the TV show Passions.
Oh, Timmy.
Timmy was the witch's puppet. I'm talking about the man who always wore the.
He wasn't a puppet. He was a Toy Story type situation.
He came to life but people saw him as a toy. But then he would come to life.
Yeah, like Toy Story.
But there was a guy, I don't know what his name was, but he was the big bad, one of the dads, and he wore a red shirt. Anyway. I don't think that's my favorite either. I think Tim Curry played a devil in a movie called Legend, which I've never seen, but it actually looks awesome. And Tim Curry looks awesome in that movie. Have you ever seen a picture of him?
I've seen the makeup. Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
Really good.
Yeah, and a good pick for a bad guy, Tim Curry. That's a good old classic right there. He didn't just play the hotel guy in Home Alone 2 as a bad guy. He's done other stuff. He's done other bad guy movies.
He was It.
He was, the clown.
He played Pennywise Clown in It.
Yep.
I read that book.
Yeah.
As a child.
Yeah. Did you? How old were you? In your teens? Younger?
Maybe.
Younger.
I got lots of access to good, not necessarily good books, but books.
No, books.
We're the sons of a librarian, and because yourself and our elder brother were not big readers.
Right, you were rebelling against...
Not rebelling, but I could spend a bit more... I had a bit more time to myself if you guys were busy.
It's always hard for me to imagine that period, man. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I have a very crisp... one of the few crisp memories of my childhood.
Yeah,
was I was in my room. I was reading, I want to say somewhere like the 4th or 5th Harry Potter book.
All right.
So that would place me between, 10 and 13.
Yeah.
Or, one of the Harry Potter books. And I'm reading the book, and you come in and you say, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And I go, "I'm just reading this book." You're like, "Yeah, cool. Come shoot the basketball outside." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just I'm just reading for a sec. There's a really good bit. Hang on, I'm just like right in the middle of something."
Yeah.
And then I finished that bit. It was a bit where Harry pretends to be a ghost while wearing the invisibility cloak.
Nice.
This is how crisp this memory is. Harry's tricking, I think, a Malfoy or something like that.
He's scaring him
by being like, "I'm a ghost."
Ooh,
and then,
even though they're wizards.
And then Malfoy's like, "Oh, shit, one of the ghosts." Oh. Even because there's lots of ghosts there.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, he wasn't scaring him as so much as like sort of like tricking him to get him to like
bugger off,
let them continue their subterfuge.
Sure.
So I finished that bit, and then I went out and shot some hoops
in the front driveway. Is that right?
In the front driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crisp one. And you got any crisp ones?
Well, that wasn't that crisp. I mean, like, you know,
I remember the
Harry
passage
Potter you're in.
I remember I was reading the book. You came in. You said you wanted to shoot hoops, and then why would I remember anything?
I don't know. I have a lot of I got a lot of cricket memories. I don't have a lot of basketball memories. Because we played a lot of cricket in the backyard.
I'm not sure if I have lots of memories of I don't have any real crisp ones.
No.
Like I couldn't say that, a catch or a bowl or something or whatever.
Nah.
Unlike the, bloody
but
4K memory I just delivered to you.
Backyard cricket. Let's talk backyard cricket. So we had a pitch at our house that was directly next to the pool. On the leg side.
Yes.
Right? So it was right next to you, basically on the pitch.
The pool was basically playing a giant back pad position.
Yeah, it's a silly mid.
So like back pad's that guy who stands right next to the batter.
Yeah,
on the leg side.
There. Yeah.
So the pool covers that spot plus every like mid on, and then all the way.
Basically, you couldn't hit it.
Yeah, and the pitch was a footpath, essentially, some pavings.
Yeah, which was uneven, had big divots in it. So if you hit a certain spot, it just went straight up in the air.
Yeah, that was good. That's the whatever. What are they called? The foot marks and the rough spots.
Yeah. We could dab out the pitch sometimes. You go out there and you give it a bit of a tap just to make sure, everything's in check. We're also using this plastic piece of shit bat, which is great for backyard cricket because you don't want to be tonking it over the fence all day, right?
No.
That ruins the game. It's a great shot, but it ruins the game.
Our eldest brother had a horrible habit. I couldn't stand the way he played backyard cricket. He was an absolute menace to play against.
Yeah, why?
Because his strategy was to do a big sort of baseball type swing, but hit it straight into the deck. Like he would just
chop it down?
Just chop it straight down, and it would bounce over the fence, or it'd bounce onto the roof, and almost impossible to get out. Like you're never gonna get it caught and bowled or anything.
Yeah, all you've got in the field is yourself. There's maybe a fielder on the onside.
No. There are dozens, maybe a half dozen fielders.
Yeah, but I'm going to go through them.
Oh yeah,
because we've got fielders. We already mentioned the pool. Well, let's go through a few of the other ones really quick. There was a few big trees. What were they?
Yes.
Palm trees.
There was a palm tree about halfway down the pitch.
Yeah, he's there to catch
on the offside.
Yeah,
he's that's Terry, I think, or if Terry was not Terry, then Terry was there was one right next to the bowler, about 1.5 meters.
Not for the whole time, but that was there.
That was there. Then you
don't know why. Like you could catch that if it was going to him. You could have probably caught that as the bowler. But there was also
because
one
the planter box, there was a
true.
brick.
It was like
you were gonna stub your toe really badly.
You were gonna mess your feet up. Yeah, you're right. And then we had another palm tree in the slips.
You have palm tree in the slips, but I'm pretty sure slips was pretty much all out.
Yeah, pretty much all out in the slips because there was like bees that gathered on those flowers. So you didn't want to be messing around in there too much. So all the slips were out. The auto wicket keeper was in. Yep, automatic wicket keeper was in.
There was another tree over by where the trampoline used to be. That's still a fielder. That's on the boundary, on the off boundary.
Yeah, that's a really tough one to hit. Really, you'd be doing well if you got caught by him.
Because if the ball hits the stump of a tree, that's out. But if the ball hits the leaves of a tree, then it's a one-hand catch.
You have to catch it with one hand off the leaves
in order to secure the out.
And that's also the case if it goes on the roof but comes back down. You have to catch it with one hand off the roof.
You got the clothesline. Now the clothesline, if there were clothes on the clothesline, obviously, and the ball hits any clothes,
yeah,
it's a single hand. It's a single hand catch rule.
Is it?
Yes.
Bloody hell.
Now, if the clothesline, obviously, if the clothesline's extended, we're looking at a Hills hoist here. If the clothesline is extended and it hits the limb, the metal frame limbs of the clothesline, that's out.
That's out.
But
the ropes, no.
Not the ropes.
Not the ropes.
If the Hills hoist is in its fully upright position with all arms sort of locked in and facing directly upwards, then we're looking at a finger situation.
No, we're not.
Where No,
we're not. No, that's out. Yeah. That's out.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's out, even if it hits Clary's fingers. Clary clothesline.
The ropes.
The ropes. So you would hit it to within a fraction of the limbs, but the ropes will flick up. That's out.
He's in a ready position, so he's going to catch those.
The
last unofficial fielder, this is the only real weird quirk in the game, is the one we've already mentioned, the pull. So we were trying to eliminate all shots on the leg side because they were basically just fence bound. They were going to go over the fence. Any shot on the leg side.
Also, it is a pain to get the ball out of the pool, so we did try to discourage pull shots in general.
Yeah, you don't want it to go in the pool. So we had a rule. Now I'm going to go through the history of the rule first, but because we'll get to where it's going to get to. But in the beginning, it was if you hit it in the pool on the full, you're out.
That's out.
Out. He's a fielder because it's annoying to have to get it out of the pool.
Get it out of the pool.
That's out. But
the strategy
there was
became
a new
to
strategy,
just,
yeah.
Because you could just bowl straight at the leg side and you're going to get him out. Like it's the pool's too big.
At his legs, he's going to pop it in the pool. That's out. So we changed it so that if the ball went into the pool, it was what was called a knuckle, which was a half of a finger, which is a half out. Now, we also, at the same sort of time, introduced a rule that you could not bowl full tosses on the leg side.
Full toss on the leg side is a no ball, and you cannot be given out on any.
No, it's just for pulls. It's just for pulls. Just for pulls. Yeah.
It's a no ball for knuckles.
Yeah, you cannot be given a half out or be proceeding to a full out.
Yeah, your second half out
on a full toss on the leg side. Now, other than that, it was pretty much standard rules. If you put it on the deck and it went into the pool, one run,
single
run,
yep.
And we had boundaries 4, 6, and then we had 2 special boundaries, which was the left and right sort of alleyways of the house. And they were what? 10s?
10 if you got it down the alleyway.
Yep.
14 if it lands
if you did it on the full.
Beyond the threshold of the house on the full.
Yeah, 14. And it's a risky shot because it could be a game ender. It's right near the fence.
There's a fence issue. There's a window issue. Window's obviously out.
Yep, window's out.
The window placement was also really good because you had a nice little...
Yeah, the field was great. The field was great.
You had bricks in between fairly large windows, let's say like double pane windows, like 2 side by side.
Yeah, so they were a good target, but you didn't want to hit it.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, that is probably, and I don't think it could be argued really against that is not the best backyard cricket pitch ever.
Well, what
in fact.
No, are you saying it is or it isn't?
You couldn't argue that it's not.
Oh, no, I completely agree. I think it works. It works beautifully. You've got just that right amount of automatic fielders out there to make the game kind of interesting. Imagine like a flat backyard, right? Completely flat, no trees, no nothing. Nice pitch, right? You've got a bit of space to work with. But you need all the boys around to have a game. You need all the boys around to have a game.
I will revise my statement because what I didn't mean to say is that for 2 to 3 players.
2 to 3 players. It's the best backyard.
Absolutely optimal.
Yeah. You can't have 6 people on that pitch.
And you wouldn't want to.
No, you can't do it. One other thing we have to put on the official rec is that there was the secret weapon.
Yeah. And there was actually another window as well. And the door. Window. Like the window, the laundry window, which was
you could not hit that.
You could hit it.
You could.
But also, you would also be risking hitting a couple of beer bottles or whatever was on the table.
Or having a spectator take a catch.
Yep. Spectator catch obviously is out. The secret weapon, though, please go ahead.
Okay,
I mean, we've got footage of this. You could show some footage of this.
Yeah, I probably might. I might. There's
good to dig that out.
There's a little bush that you could hide behind, and you usually hid there for a little while.
It's near the pool filter.
You're waiting for the batsman to say his line.
There's a dance to it. There's a sort of call and response. Yeah.
Yes. So they don't make any secret. They've walked over to the little tree and they're sort of peering at the batsman through the tree, sort of getting a good look at them.
Sometimes you would even feign dropping the ball in that direction.
Oh, yeah. And then go, I've dropped the
ball. I just got to go grab the ball. You know,
and you pick it up and you're in position, stealth mode, camo, right? You appearing at the batsman, you're looking at him, you're sizing him up. You're like, I'm going to give him the secret weapon
through the leaves, like kind of like Rambo style.
Rambo style. Now the batsman's line is, "Where did he go?
Where's he gone? Yeah,
where's he gone?" And that's when the bowler will come out of that secret weapon position.
Yes.
But the ball's in their opposite hand. They're going to bowl it on their opposite hand. Oh, what's going on here? They bowl it, and usually when they say, where'd he go? Where is he? When they come out of the hiding place, because it's a bit of a spring action, they run out. Like, there. You have to say, well, you don't have to, but it pays to say. It is
customary to say.
Customary for the batsman to say, there he is. There he is.
And then you'd look. Sometimes the left-handed bowl meant you had to sort of do like a little sort of spin, little pirouette.
Yeah, you can throw a spin in, or you can do it regular. Yep.
And getting a wicket on a secret weapon is
very rare.
Almost, I'd say almost never. But
people just put them away.
You're bowling with left hand,
or it goes in the pool. Like you just bowl it straight into the pool.
Actually, they're straight into the pool. Mm-hmm. There's also the dynamic of the wet ball, which sort of made.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, let's talk about the wet ball.
The primary benefits of the wet ball is you get a bit of bounce.
Or less bounce.
You dampen the bounce, I mean to say.
Yeah, so it really it zips in on you.
It zips in. It's also got a bit of spray off it.
Yeah, so it might spray you a bit in the eye with some pool water.
The best, I think, application of the wet ball is the sort of Hawkeye feature that it has. The stumps were a sort of a ledge, like a brick ledge, that were painted a dark green eventually, and then another freestanding brick to sort of represent the top of the stumps. Not bales per se, but
bales. Well, the top of the stumps, you're right. It wasn't the bales. Yeah.
And so if you bowl a wet ball and it beats the batsman and hits somewhere on the back, on the ledge,
there's evidence.
There is a Hawkeye sort of spot on the wall to demonstrate if it did impact the stumps. Look, there's the wet ball.
But here's the thing about the wet ball. Sounds great. Why wouldn't you just wet the ball on purpose? You can't.
You can't. You mustn't. It is
You're not
sporting.
Allowed to. I've seen people do it. I've done it, where you drop the ball near the pool.
Look, if the batsman causes the ball to become wet through error, or let's say they're trying to throw the ball back to you and it's a dud throw and it bounces around and gets into the pool, that's a free wet ball.
Yeah, free wet ball.
But if the bowler elects to wet the ball, he could be instructed to dry it off.
to bounce it a few times.
Couple of bounces.
Yeah, a couple of bounces on the deck.
Yeah, there's some historic innings that went down. Ugh. I think one jumps out.
Yeah.
Double century.
Was that what it was?
Double century.
Oh, no. To be fair, I scored the double century. It probably was late at night at the time, probably 7 or 8 o'clock at night.
I mean, it was a twilight game, the twilight
game
match.
Yep.
And I think some was up, or some was, still.
Yeah, at the beginning.
It was still light out, and then played into the night. Yep. But that's the thing, is that you might feel a pang of guilt around that. I was a young man at the time.
Oh, yeah, I'm 6 years older than him, and I was tarping him up this particular day, obviously, hitting lots of boundaries.
And if you extrapolate 6 years, I mean, look, a 20-year-old against a 26-year-old, that's fine. It's an even playing field. And then
that sounds pretty fair.
Even like 15 to 20, that's still getting there,
not really.
pretty even.
Sure.
I think I was around 9 or 10.
Maybe you were 8 or 9.
And you were a late bloomer. You're a late bloomer, so it's not like you were...
Even match.
Not like you were like really like,
No, I needed to prove myself, man, that I could do it against the best for my own self-esteem to be
that's the thing.
I have to be the best,
That's the thing. You might think that would... Look, I think that instilled in me... Because the thing is right, it's over 45, right? He's probably on 170 at this stage, but I am still steaming in.
You were.
Run-up was sort of like a curved run-up. It was not a straight run-up, but...
are you? Yeah, go on.
I was a fast bowler. I was not... I wasn't really bad. Wasn't much for the spin, but I didn't mind a little off cutter from time to time.
Yeah.
But I would steam in, and I have look, if I'm being honest, are you familiar with Glenn McGrath?
Glenn McGrath? Yes, I'm aware of him.
And are you familiar with Brett Lee?
Yes, both of those people.
If you were to imagine some sort of melding of their bowling actions, the precision of Glenn McGrath, the ferocity of a Brett Lee.
Yes. Oh, it wasn't just there.
If you combine those two things,
yes,
you're beginning to approximate the beauty of my bowling action. Because I don't know what it is, right? But I have a strong ability to mimic physical actions.
Can you?
So if you see a pitcher, like I'll watch a pitch a submarine pitch in baseball where he sort of throws it from under.
Yeah.
I could just do that, and I can just do things like that. I can just see it. I can conceive it.
Yes.
And then I can
believe it, and then you achieve it.
And then I achieve it. But no, honestly, I think that sort of experience where I'm getting,
pumped. Yeah.
No, it was still competitive. You got lucky.
I got a record.
You got. I'm sure you had some close calls. But I think, look, I played a competitive sporting event recently, and a couple of players on my team didn't demonstrate brilliant sportsmanship. Oh. In fact, fairly poor sportsmanship, I would say.
Yeah.
And I think those types of experiences has really put me in good stead to, I can take a beating, I can take a loss, I can still steam in, I can still be
That's
in
good.
the game, in the fight.
That's good. And did you want me back then to nick it to the slips and just whatever? Did you want me to get out?
It was going to happen.
So we could go inside? Or did you want to beat me as well?
I want to get the wicket.
Yeah, you want to get the wicket, right?
I'm steaming in. I'm going for the wicket.
Yeah. I think I just remember the beckons of, come inside. And it was like, no, he's got to get me out first. We're still going.
Yeah. I'm not going to, I wouldn't give in like that.
But the thing is that you had nothing to gain after I started scoring 200 runs because I was a scumbag back then. I would have been rubbing it in. I would have been like, man, 200. Whew.
Well, that's fine. I don't see anything wrong with that whatsoever. Like, you know.
Nah, I was yeah. I probably couldn't compete with Brody in our youth, and I just took it out on you and your friends when when you come over and play video games or whatever.
Yeah, I feel bad for the other people who weren't sort of tempered in the flames of competition like I was.
Yes.
And anyone else who came from another environment where they weren't expecting to get beaten.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be able to get beaten. You have to.
But there's a way to win too, and I wasn't doing the best version of that, let's say.
Well, look,
in that case,
I think the most egregious example of that was the Halo days. But
really?
Yeah, by far.
Because the rules of the Halo game were sort of tailor-made to fit my sort of play style.
That is true.
Human weapons, no shields, guys. No shields. Human weapons only. Let's go.
Yeah, sniper map, the one with like the
two bridges. Yeah,
the two sort of the two sort of SimCity towers.
Yeah, it was Blood Gulch, Sidewinder, or that one.
I can't remember.
Sidewinder was the ice one.
I can't remember what was Sidewinder, but
it was just the ice one where you roll around in tanks. The only ice one we played. Yeah. What do you mean egregious? What was I doing back in the Halo days?
Oh, just merciless.
Yeah.
Just no regard for human safety.
Yeah. But again, like I'm trying to raise it's a baptism of fire. You're probably a better video gamer player for it. You know, going through that rough experience.
Oh, look, I'm not talking about towards me.
Look,
I like I said, I can take any beating, but
but that's because you had to.
Well, it was either that or you
watch me play Grand Theft Auto again.
Yeah, I'm on the field. At least I'm in the game. That's the most important thing. Got to be in the game.
Yeah, for sure. We played all those games: cricket games, fighting games. We did them all.
There was
FIFA, a lot of soccer games.
There was and once I started making money and started getting my own games,
contributing to the gaming pool. Yeah. Well, what happened then?
Well, I don't know. I just had even so like at Chinese restaurants, right? I was the one pushing the family to go for the sizzling back beef. You were
the guy. Was that you? Was it?
That was me. You were Mr. Lemon Chicken, right?
Yeah.
You were Mr. Can't order anything off the known menu.
It's funny how similar it is to today, because because if I went to a restaurant and I was like, last time I came here I had this, I really liked it, I'll just do it again.
You just do it.
Yeah.
There is wisdom in that, but yeah, I was always trying to push the boundaries a bit.
Well done. Good on you. You were
crispy toothfish.
Oh Jesus! Was that? I've never seen that. I never seen that.
That was the Lido days.
Right. It's a bloody staple now, is what it is.
Oh well, that's the problem. Is that once you discover it, then it just becomes folded in. But I would say that I think lemon chicken got left in the dust.
Should, yeah, you might be. But once Mum might still order it because she thinks it's the only thing I'll eat. She might still just order it.
Yeah.
Yep. That probably happened recently. Yep.
Yeah. Or carrots.
I was crazy though. I'd walk into the kitchen, and I like all different types of food now. I'm still pretty boring for the most part in regards to food, but I used to walk into the kitchen and say, "Oh, what are you cooking?" And she'll go, spaghetti bolognese. And I'll go, oh, cool, Wheat Bix.
Yeah.
And then I would have Wheat Bix for dinner because that was way too exotic for me, having spag bowl, right? And I'd walk in and I'd go, what's cooking? And she'd say, oh, I'm doing a lovely curry. And she'd always try and sell it to me. But I'd go, nah, doing the Wheat Bix again. And I
what were the approved dishes though?
What do you mean?
Like, What were the ones where you would say, all right, yeah, cool, I'll skip the Weet-Bix tonight. I'll go for that.
Yeah, so if Mum was doing like crumb steaks, that was always
crumbed veal.
That was always like fine. I was like, yeah, that's fine, and get excited about that. I'm trying to think of another one.
I think it's just crumb veal.
Yeah. So
see, that's another thing. Like veal is like you can't be having veal, can you?
No, definitely not.
I mean,
that was before I knew what it was, for sure.
Well, that's fine, but like, if I don't want to harp on about Roman Polanski too much, but he was eating the veal of the sexual dating pool, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, understood. Yeah, there was probably just that one. Maybe there was another one. Could be wrong, but when I became older and started eating curries, spaghetti, all that sort of fun stuff, I was just realized how silly that was, right? And found out that Mum actually makes like insanely good curries, you know?
Yep.
And yeah, that made me think about those years. I'd be sitting there with my Weet-Bix with the Ovaltine on it or the sugar.
Ovaltine. Ovaltine is so criminally underrated. It's so criminally underrated that I think it's actually went out of business.
I thought it was still around.
I don't know. I see the Sustagen every now and again.
Yeah.
Look, I was I wouldn't say I was a chubby kid, but I had chubby. I was a chubby kid.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it.
But like, there was a time where I don't know for what reason, but Mum got me onto this tonic stuff.
Okay.
Tonic. Oh no! Now I'm just getting tonic water in the Google search. Tonic medicine. Tonic.
What's it for?
Herbal tonic. I don't know. Liver tonic.
Started giving it to you.
Metatone tonic. That looks about right. It was like this sort of. It was just this type of. It was tonic, right?
Yeah, but what? Why?
I think it was kind of like a multivitamin or something.
Okay, that's fine.
But I don't think I was really in need of it.
Right.
But I think she was just sort of trying things out.
Definitely. 100%.
Tonic. I'm getting absolutely smashed at the moment by pilot ads. I don't know about you. I think you're in the same sort of age range for advertisers as I am, and you're probably even a bigger target for tonic.
Yeah, I've heard about this one.
Actually, I have. I think I'm putting together the pieces of the puzzle here, because if you're saying that you're not getting inundated with pilot ads right now, and I'm guessing you're not
inundated. What does that mean?
It means every. So no. I get two different types of ads.
Where on these ads?
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah, because I got YouTube on the app, my phone app.
Yeah, and you're getting pumped with pilot ads.
Or pumped, absolutely pumped. And pilot is like basically like bald, impotent men ads. Like it's like half the ones are going, you're losing your hair, and the other ones are saying like, don't be ashamed of having erectile dysfunction. Just pay for this subscription service.
Sure.
But I'm putting together the puzzle now. I'm not losing my hair. I've got a thick head of hair. So thick, in fact, that sometimes when I'm around bald people, I feel like they quietly resent me for how thick my head of hair is. Because I just think sometimes they look at me sideways and just go, that fucker in his hair. Like, because my hair is popping off right now. It's huge. It's really nice.
Yeah, I can relate.
But and these guys, these poor devils with their chrome domes, they're just absolutely.
What's your theory?
My theory is that the other aspect the other aspect. The other ads that I'm getting pumped by are jewelry ads. Like I admit I'm in the market for jewelry, not for myself. I'm buying jewelry. Right, I'm looking at jewelry websites.
You get whatever you look for.
Yeah. I looked for jewelry. Oh, well, I'm not looking for bloody ED pills now. Let me get you on straight. I've got bloody fucking. I'm bloody rock hard and the thick head of hair over here, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're saying they're putting the pieces of the puzzle together. They're going, okay, he's getting jewelry. Now, what would a man want with jewelry? Okay, he's using jewelry.
Yeah.
It's jewelry can be sort of reasonably anticipated to be connected with, let's say, an uptick in sexual activity.
Is it?
I'd say if you buy jewelry.
Well, it's special occasions. It's birthdays. It's anniversaries. Yeah. It's celebrating the good. It's just because I love you.
Yeah. Just because.
And just because I love you, definitely you'd have some uptick there. If it was just for no reason at all, like if that was the reason for getting it, was no reason at all. I don't even want sex, darling. I just want you to be I want you to love that watch or whatever.
So Pilot is going,
jewelry.
Those guys who are getting the jewelry, right? Even if they're not impotent, which I'm not, right? And don't, all right? There's nothing to be ashamed of if I was, and I'm not ashamed if I was,
but you might
I wouldn't be.
You just might want it anyway.
You might want to juice.
Yeah, exactly.
You might want to
performance enhance.
Yeah, exactly. You might want to juice.
You keep saying you might want to, but I
don't want to.
Right. There's no little button you can click that's in the middle that goes, buy both. Order both. Thanks very much. Package deal. Give you a 10% discount.
It's about creating these little links in your mind where you go, oh yeah, jewelry. I need to buy some jewelry. I am in the market for jewelry. Oh, maybe I'll give her like a 4-hour Woody as well.
Jesus. Yeah, right on.
Maybe that's going to be part of the gifting procedure.
Got it.
So I'm not going to buy Pilot.
Okay.
And I don't care how many ads.
Right. So you're putting your foot down right now. It's not happening. So stop going on about it. Yeah?
Pilot's men's health treatment online.
Now
ED,
you're searching for it.
PE.
You are definitely in now.
Hair loss, weight loss, skin, sleep, and more. So...
Oh, well, it's a bit of a one-stop shop.
Weight loss. Do I need weight loss? Maybe I'm just thinking if I'm getting a package deal, right?
Right.
Maybe I just chuck in the weight loss stuff.
Right.
I do have skin and I do like to sleep and more. What's the more, I guess?
No.
I could take a quiz. Do you want to take a quiz?
No.
We'll take a quiz. Oh, what can I help you with today, Aiden?
No. No.
Yeah. ED?
Yep.
You want? Yeah. All right. Answer questions. All right. I'll agree. I'm not going to agree to this.
All right. Yeah. You back down? You backing out?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Back out.
No quiz.
That's all right. Next time. Well, that's what we'll do. First thing next time is we're doing the ED quiz on the VAG. So
I mean, there's nothing to be ashamed of.
No, you keep saying that, but no, I know that.
I'm not ashamed. Even if I had it, I wouldn't be ashamed.
Exactly.
I'm not ashamed.
Well, then stop it. No shames.
Yeah, hair, fine.
Yeah,
right.
Skin,
but definitely not ashamed. No. Yeah. I think hair was fine. Hair would be fine.
Right.
So we'll cross that out.
Great.
Do need to get some jewelry though.
Right. Well, keep that.
Lock in the jewelry.
Stamp out the other ones. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Find
a different ad. Get a new one. All right.
Maybe I need to start tailoring my ads towards me rather than the other way around.
Yeah, so start searching. Isn't that what you're already doing? You're already searching for stuff that you like.
I should be searching for things that I want to see ads for rather than things that I actually want to buy.
All right, if you've solved it, you figured it out.
What sort of ads do I like? Maybe if I could get like the Cotties ads. If I start Googling Cotties a lot, they're going to give me the old ads.
You probably have to think a bit more 5-dimensionally, if you like.
Yeah.
Because you got to start Googling like stuff that parents Google, so that then it goes, oh, you know what? This is a parent.
They
want Cotties for the kids.
He's got a perfectly functioning.
Yeah. So I think you could do it by saying like in your Google search, you'd say something like, how to take care of 5 children.
Yes.
And then you'd go, they'd be like, Cotties.
Yes.
Fucking Cotties. Get some of that into you.
Maybe I'll search something like totally virile, full hair of headed man who has nothing to be ashamed of if he has the odd bout of... No one's ashamed of anything. So virile, full head of hair, likes Cotties. I think I'll just put that in the paper.
Yeah.
Just a little classified.
No, so much to look forward to. Thanks for coming in.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us. That was good fun.
Yep. I don't know. I'm feeling a bit funny about all the early bits of this one, but I think, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Okay, great. So he's feeling funny.
Feeling a bit funny. Yeah. But totally, not ashamed.
Not ashamed, and all good.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week.